Yun. So, what's up, Team Bear, no? Welcome again for another video of our daily market prep or daily market summary na lang, no? So, today is June 6, 2024 and it's around 4:29 p.m. Philippine time. Today is Thursday. Almost patapos na rin yung trading week, the 23rd trading week of the year. So, let's get into it. So, in this video, we will be doing a market recap. So, let's start with the ETF heat map, no? On the performance yesterday. So, looking at the ETF heat map, you can see that the SPY is up around 1.19%. The Qs is up by 2.02%. So doing good yung market right now. Big movement, big bullish momentum yung experience ng market. So majority of the movement came from the semiconductor sector. Looking at the SMH, the semiconductor ETF, up siya ng halos 5% or to be exact 4.87%. So we can also see that the emerging markets is doing good, 1.61%. The biotech sector is doing good as well, 3.24%. XLK, 2.22%. Our XLP, halos flat. Our XLI, our industrials is almost flat. Our XLU, our utility sector, one of our leaders for the past few weeks is doing a flat movement right now, most likely due to lower US oil and a decrease in global demand, no? Most likely so yun sa mga reasons, no, bakit nalalaglag tong defensive sector na to. And right now due to an increase in optimism in rate cuts, kaya rin mangat yung market right now. So let's look at the stocks performance, our heat map in all US stocks. So looking at Nvidia, printing new all-time highs, up ng 4.51%. CrowdStrike up 11%. So halos lahat ng high value traded names natin are up, like SMCI up din siya na 4.74%. Avgo, Broadcom 5.26%. AMD as well, one of the chip names, up din siya and nahatak din siya ng Nvidia. So we are seeing some setups emerging in the semiconductor sector again, no? So parang nagpahinga lang yung semiconductors natin, yung chip names natin, but right now resuming its momentum, no? So our hyperscalers, Meta and Microsoft, our AI hyperscalers is also up by around 1% and 2% for Meta. Let's look for Google. So nasaan yung Google natin? So hindi ko siya makita, most likely flat siya. So Google is flat yesterday, 0.50%. So MSTR, one of the crypto related names, is also up, and Coinbase, although halos flat lang yung Coinbase natin. So meme stocks, let's talk about meme stocks. GME is up by 11% yesterday. So nag-recover siya after its bad close nung 2 days ago. So looking at GME, silipin ko lang, no. So yesterday gap down and then halos nag-create ng indecision candle, but right now nag-resume yung strength niya, no? So let's see what happens to GME. So let's get into our indices, no? So looking at the indices, the SPY, so halos 4 minutes in na tayo. So nice retest. So this is now a valid retest of the previous all-time high at 520. So nag-support at MA20 as well, our green line, no? Our green line. And right now, printing new all-time highs. So looking at the volatility bands, so for me, based on our framework, our upper band is pointing upward, although our lower band is still pointing upward. Ang gusto natin makita is an expansion downward and an expansion towards the upside ng upper bands natin to declare this as an expansionary state. So for me, actually, price action wise, I think okay na to. Looking at RSI as well, na nagbe-break above the RSI moving average. So RSI moving average is re-inflecting or about to re-inflect to the upside should we sustain above the 530 level. So hindi natin dapat hindi rin tayo dapat masyado maging bullish right now. Dapat tignan din natin tong key level na 530 as support, no? So if 530 does not support, or simply put, our 10-day SMA line na lang, no? So if hindi mag-support yung 10-day SMA line natin, then that's a bad sign na possible bull trap yung may experience sa market. But for me, looking at the bigger picture, looking at our macro, talagang serving as tailwinds yung global macro right now, no? yung mga movements in US oil, movements in the dollar, and our bond yields. So that's our SPY. For me, I'm quite bullish. Our equal weighted S&P 500, our RSP, the SPY outperformed the RSP, no? So basically, it tells us na yung market rally is concentrated towards mega caps and large caps. So yun yung pinaka simple message na pinapakita ng RSP sa atin, no. So halos flat yung ginagawa ni RSP, but the SPY is printing new all-time high. So same thing with our Qs, our Nasdaq 100 ETF, printing new all-time highs, no. Even gapping up right now by 0.81 points. Halos up siya ng 0.17%. So doing good yung Nasdaq 100 natin. Also created this retest of this previous high at 450, and right now printing new all-time highs basically. So ang ganda ng ginawa niyang retest structure. So retest structure toward the previous all-time high and MA20. So confluence of a structural support na dating resistance and a dynamic support, which is MA20, your short-term dynamic support. So looking at the moving average configurations, still pointing upward yung lahat ng key moving average natin, like the 10, 20, and 10, 20, 50, and 100. So all pointing upward and nicely configured yung short-term, super short-term, intermediate term, and long-term moving average mo. So that's a good sign coming from the Qs and its moving average configuration. Although our equal weighted Qs still running flat or still moving flat, still actually inside this trading range. So hindi pa rin siya makaalis dito sa pullback structure niya noong April 2024. So the April 2024 pullback, nandito pa rin tayo sa trading range na yan. Although we are recovering or nicely retested the 50% of the trading range. So this served as the support level as well as the MA100 line. Yung MA100 natin yung red line natin. So right now, if our equal weighted Qs breaks above 90, then we can experience a broader market rally in the tech space or Nasdaq names. So actually, there's an emerging cup and handle. Mukhang cup and handle. Pwede ring inverted. This is your left shoulder. This is your head. This is your right shoulder. So basically, ang pinopoint out lang ng market structure natin in the equal weighted Qs is that it's creating a reaccumulation structure or a basing pattern. So bigger picture, we are looking at the bigger picture. This is our bigger picture cup and handle, no? If we take this cup and handle structure, actually ang 1618 target natin is at 95. So this is your cup, this is your handle, or simply put, from this low level or this swing low level and then this significant swing high level, ang main targets natin actually is at around 100. So malayo-layo pa tayo, no? In terms of Wyckoff theory, ano pa tayo? We are still on an early stage uptrend or early stage markup phase. So for me, this is still a young bull market, no? Based on our charts, based on our indices. Although looking at the next index, no, our mid caps, yun nga parang nagmamaterialize yung parang cup and handle din, or possibly ano siya, no? Ang emerging pattern na lumalabas right now is an ascending triangle, no? Should we create should it resist at 555 again and then moves lower again, creates a higher low at 540, then this can serve as an ascending triangle setup, ascending triangle neutral pattern, no? So we can see that our MDY still on an early stage markup. So ito yung pinaka accumulation base natin, di ba? Ito yung pinaka accumulation base natin. So if we can take our measured move, our measured target, nasa 610 pa yung ano natin, mid-range targets natin. So for me, should this break above the 550 level, 560 level, much better. Like I've said from the past videos, doon lang tayo magta-transition to possible test towards 600. So, since dahil if we take this measured move, halos papasok siya sa midpoint ng 1618 and 200% level na target. So possibly 600 yung next target should we move higher in the mid cap space. So mid caps, since mid caps and small caps are the most affected segments, no, on higher interest rate environments. And siya yung pinaka-interest rate sensitive. Kaya rin siya nag-sideways right now. Unlike the RSP, unlike the SPY, unlike the Qs na not too affected by interest rates. No? So that's our mid-cap, still flat. But looking promising, no, in terms of its upside potential. Since, ayun nga, most big movers, most baggers comes from the mid-caps and the small caps, itong IWM natin. Halos madaming names na nag-create na multi-baggers. From small caps to mid caps, obviously. No? Since they are growing companies, they have more potential, more upside potential. So looking at IWM, to simply put, we are still on a sideways ranging market or sideways ranging price action. So looking at the IWM, we are still in this trading range, no, from 190 toward the 210 level. So mukhang nagsusupport naman siya at MA50, no? Mukhang nagsusupport naman siya at MA50. So for me, I'm looking at the 10-day structure na mukhang inside day structure, no. So for me, ang pinaka go signal ko for IWM, if it recovers above 206, then I'm gonna be bullish. If it's still hovering below the 50% of this mother bar, itong mother bar natin, then I'm still bearish for IWM. For me, based on our indices, to make it simple, no, I'm gonna focus my capital on, I'm gonna be heavyweight on the tech names, the large cap names, and mega cap names. I'll expose my capital on some mid caps and small caps, but minimal exposure. Like for example, in large caps, mega caps, I can at least put 20%, 15% of my portfolio in large caps. Then small caps, tipong max of 5% per stock, no? 5%, 10% allocation per stock. So in terms of VAR, I'm willing to put more VAR or value at risk to large caps and mega caps. Then on mid caps, small caps, tipong 0.25, 0.33% VAR. On large caps, mega caps, pwedeng 0.5 to 1% VAR. So more on, ang pinaka point is that risk on in large caps, mega caps. For me. So depende na yun sa'yo. If you see more upside potential in IWM, in MDY, in small caps and mid caps, then go ahead. So let's look at the spreads of growth and value. SPY-G over SPY-V. We can see that growth names are outperforming value names. So to simply look at the chart, no, it's on an uptrend after this consolidation phase. It broke above, retested, and then right now reaccelerating to the upside. So great outperformance between growth names versus value names in terms of S&P 500 names. For mid caps, halos remaining flat. Looks like it's supporting at the MA 100 line. So basically halos equal yung ginagalaw ng mid caps and mid-cap growth names and mid-cap value names. So for small caps, great outperformance of growth names versus value names in small caps. So point is that right now, if you want to allocate your capital toward S&P 500 names, then look toward or look for opportunities in growth names. For mid-caps, pwedeng either or, no? Growth names or value names. For small caps, focus on growth. So moving forward, let's look at our macro benchmarks, no, to see some developments in the macro. So looking at our 10-year yields, so nicely done, nicely breaking below this support trend line. So for if hindi nyo pa napapanood yung quarterly debrief natin and forward guidance, you can look at my YouTube channel and then look for that video, or lagay ko na lang sa description box or description below, no. Just look at the description box below or comment section na lang din, no. So hindi ako sanay mag CTA na mga ganun, but basically ibigay ko na sa inyo yung link. So right now we are still below the support trend line, so that's good. for equities. So bull case for equities if our bond yields move lower. That's our bull case for equities. Bear case for equities if it recovers above 4.5%. So pinaka correlation yan is if bond yields are up, that's tightening financial conditions. That's bad for equities. If it's moving lower, that's good for equities or basically the stock market. So that's our US 10-year yields. Hindi na natin titignan yung 2-year and 30-year. So looking at our dollar index, so same thing, halos pares lang din ang ginagalaw. Right now, we are below the MA100 line. Diba? So that's good for the stock market. If we have our DXY declining, that's good for the stock market. It's reflective naman eh. Reflective naman siya in our indices, diba? Super reflective siya in our indices that we are on a risk-on state in our equities, even in crypto, somewhat risk-on state tayo due to this declining dollar strength, so dollar index. So that's the XY. Looking at US oil, sana US oil natin, our inflation benchmark. So right now bouncing at the 72 level. But overall, lakas ng downward momentum of oil. So that's good for the stock market as well, since the market is anticipating lower inflation if you have a drop in US oil, since US oil is the most used commodity. Nag-discuss ko na yan many times in our past videos, but for the sake sa mga bago dito, something to discuss, no? So looking at precious metals, halos right now sideways ranging. Yung gold natin might possibly create an ascending triangle. Possibly, pwede rin mag-create ng wedge or upward channel. We don't know, but right now, pinaka main point is that nag-support siya at MA50, the 50-day SMA line. So that's gold. If you are a buyer of dips, then that's a possible buy on dip opportunity. So looking at silver, retesting the previous all-time high. Hindi naman all-time high, but multi-year high. So multi-year high is at $29. So that's serving as our support right now, no? Yung dating resistance now serving as support. So actually, it's creating this undercut and rally. For me, ang pinaka tinitingnan ko na support is the 30 level. Nag-reach below 30, but right now, for me, gusto ko mag-recover na siya above the 10-day SMA line before I become bullish in silver again. In precious metals name or mining names. But right now, looks like we're consolidating in our silver commodity. So looking at the Mag7 index, so printing new all-time high. So this is the price weighted Mag7 index. So pinag-add ko lang yung mga prices, yung pinag-add ko lang yung prices ng Amazon, Meta, Nvidia, Tesla, etc. But much preferred sana kung market cap weighted, but this will do, no? So basically our Mag7 index breached above the 1618 target. So this is the initial target. Ito yung initial target natin eh. So coming from this base or this pulled back at MA100, created this multi-month base. So since March up to May, nag-consolidate siya, broke above the 2,500 level, and right now even breaching the 1618 target. So the next target is at the 3K level, no? The 3K level. Maybe mag-adjust yan after the 10-to-1 stock split ng Nvidia. But in general, basically parehas lang yung magiging chart structure niyan eh. Parehas lang yung magiging chart structure niyan. But right now the 3,000 level is the next target for based on this index, no? So looking at other Mag7 names, Amazon is pulling back or successfully pulled back to the 100-day MA line. Meta recovering above this square root pattern, reversal structure. So after its earnings gap down, nicely done yung recovery niya, created this consolidation structure. Right now, nag-breakout na siya sa multi-day structure na or multi-week consolidation niya. So this is a classic square root reversal, no? So what we want to see for Meta is to create a follow through bullish momentum, breaking above 500, then a possible resistance. The next possible resistance level is at 520, 518 area for Meta. So if you want to trade Meta, maybe look for setups on the lower time frame, or if you're a newbie or what, wait for a consolidation at the 520, 518. Parang yung tipong ganyan, yung tight consolidation for this name. So Nvidia, I still have Nvidia. So nabili ko siya at 918. So right now, ganun din, 1618 target was breached. Nag-consolidate siya at the 1618 target. So sumakto dun sa measured target natin. And right now, about to test the 1-2 level. 1,300 level na for me. 1,260, 1,300, halos super minimal na lang siya. So we are above the 74 RSI. So yun, mukhang wala makakapigil talaga dito for sa Nvidia. So Tesla, mukhang parehas sila ng structure na ginagawa ni Meta. Excuse, ano pala yung coffee ko. Parang ano din siya, square root pattern, mukha din inverted, but bottom line, after its drop, it recovered, right now reconsolidating. So serving as resistance, yung MA100 line natin. For me, if it breaks above MA100, that's a possible confirmation for another momentum up move for Tesla. So actually, Tesla is also an AI play for me, since it involves autonomous driving developments. So Microsoft, one of the AI names din, and AI software and hyperscaler name. So right now, what I can see with Microsoft is a possible inverted or complex inverted. So emerging pattern is a complex inverted. So this is our head. So break below the support level, recover above it. Right now, creating this right shoulder. But the main context behind the chart, the price action of Microsoft, is that it's consolidating. No? A break above 430, that's a considerable confirmation of a possible up move for Microsoft. So that's Microsoft. 10 is above 20, 20 is above 50, although flatlining MA50 mo. MA100 is still uptrending. So intermediate term, medyo neutral. Your super short term MA is kinda bearish pa din. Your MA20 is quite bullish. So once it reflects to the upside, lahat ng key moving average mo, that's the right moment to buy on momentum on Microsoft. So that's a sign na confirm na yung uptrend or a recovery of an uptrend. So Apple, same thing, basing, and then about to break above the 200 level again. And then, malayo pa pala, sorry. This structure resistance is yung pinaka-key level natin. Should this break above the 200 level na nga lang, no? Yung psychological number na yun, that's the confirmed signal for Apple to resume its uptrend. Tagal na rin nag-consolidate since 2023, almost 1 year base to. So if Apple breaks above the all-time high level, then maybe baka bumalik yung optimism with Apple. So why is Apple on a sideways ranging market or sideways ranging price action? Maybe due to the fundamental fact na bumababa yung demand ng Apple products in China, and possible trade war issues din, no? US-China trade war issues. So during US-China trade wars, pinaka-apektado is Apple since most of their manufacturing is in China. So that's Apple, AAPL, ticker AAPL. So Google, so Google na lang, pulled back at MA20. So nice flag pattern, no? So actually for me, this is a tradable pattern, no? So this flag for Google is a tradable pattern. So right now it's breaking above the pattern, breaking above the MA10 line, no? 10 is above 20, 20 is above 50, and 100, all inflecting upward except MA10. So once it reinflects to the upside, tong 10-day SMA line, then we can experience a continuation or momentum continuation in Google. So bigger picture, let's look at the measured targets, no? So looking at Google, multi-year base then, since 2021, it created this big accumulation base. So measured target, reverse fib mo lang from this swing low to this swing high. 1618 target, malayo pa. So this is the mid-stage markup phase target. So for me, if I want to trade Google, this is a possible setup that I can trade right now. So lower time frame, extended trading hours. So looks like a cup and handle, no? Looks like a cup and handle na quite tradable. So I'm gonna put an alert at 180. So greater than. So maybe I'm gonna trade this, or possibly lower time frame. Breakout of the channel breakout. Then wait for a coil at 178, 177. So once it creates a nice coil, so ERTH natin para mas clear, or para hindi tayo maka-experience sa mga super choppy na movement. For me, a break above 177, 178, then that's gonna be my confirmation for Google, no? So early entry siya. That's an aggressive entry. Actually, ang aggressive entry mo is the gap up or the gap open at 176. Then maybe subs mo at 173, but for me, mukhang mas tradable structure to. So I'm gonna put my stops at 175. Then my next target is most likely at, so I'm gonna, yan ako lang yung targets ko. So maybe the 1618 target is at 185. So 134, ano siya? 2.98 is to 1 reward risk ratio. So 3 is to 1. So risk $100, you gain $300 if this trade materializes. So that's Google, our Mag 7. So special mentions, no? Special mentions. So I have Credo. I entered on Credo due to this this power earnings gap na setup. So you can call it a post earnings announcement drift, power earnings gap, doesn't matter, but bottom line is that after earnings, it created this strong momentum candle, and right now about to recontinue its momentum to the upside. So that's Credo. I have Credo right now. So some names na nag-add ako, I have Chewy. So same setup, post earnings announcement drift play. So consolidated after this power earnings gap. MSTR, same thing, although not an earnings play, more of a channel breakout than a coil setup. So higher time frame setup siya, MSTR. I have Kava. So a pullback to the 10-day SMA line, yung pinaka-play natin dito. After earnings, it created this gap down, but nice momentum pa rin, no? So bulls won on this candle, on the earnings candle. So recontinued on day 2, on the days after day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. It created this nice pullback towards the 10-day SMA line. So on the lower time frame, I entered on this channel breakout. So that's Kava. I have Kava. So I also have Elf Beauty. Although about to may hit na yung break even stop ko in Elf Beauty. I entered at 180. I entered at 180 on the pullback dito. And right now, resuming back or returning back to my break-even point. So that's Elf Beauty. So I also have Eli Lilly, and I still have Nvidia. So that's my current movements in the market. So 30 minutes in tayo, no? 30 minutes in. So maybe okay naman na yung na-discuss ko to everyone. So let's look at let's look at PSE na lang, no, to quickly discuss the local markets. So right now PSCI resuming back or returning back above 6.5. So for me, this is a nice confirmation na ito na yung support natin. Nag-support siya at 6.4. Since the dollar is weakening, dapat expecting na dapat humihina, lumalakas na yung peso eh. But overall, USD PHP still on a strong uptrend, still serving as a headwind in our local index. So that's PSEI. No? So to simply put, for me, once it breaks above 6.6, dun lang ako maging bullish on the PSEI. But overall, big picture, we are still on a big sideways ranging market in the in our PSC, in our local market. So mahirap i-trade talaga yung PSC right now. Although may mga outliers ka naman like ICT. So ba ICT natin? So one of our outliers, ICT, bull flag. We have CNPF as well, creating another bull flag, although somewhat choppy. We also have MWC, no? Creating a flag pattern. So may mga outliers ka naman like Plus. So DG Plus, ano ba yung DG Plus natin? Although medyo di ko lang nagugustuhan yung big bearish divergence natin. So we can see that we are seeing higher highs in price but lower highs in RSI. So that's a sign of a big sign of pent-up supply. Maybe someday, sooner or later, sellers will come in. Maybe mga dating nakabili at 2 pesos, maybe mga nakabili at 6 pesos, pwede mag-create sila ng strong profit taking. Actually, na-experience nila ng Plus initially. So if in terms of Wyckoff theory, this can be considered as a preliminary supply. PSY. So you can look up doon sa natin sa mga schematics natin, if gusto niyo i-recall, if aware kayo or familiar kayo with the Wyckoff methodology or Wyckoff method. So that's some outliers in our local markets. So looking at crypto, BTC still on a ranging structure. So multi-month base. So looking at a bigger picture, multi-year base, diba? So consolidation near all-time high. So this is a good sign for BTC, no? Basically this is a good sign for BTC. So for me, I'm still bullish in Bitcoin dahil din dun sa liquidity injections coming from the traditional finance or traditional markets, no? Yung Bitcoin ETFs natin, there's still money flows, net inflows in Bitcoin ETF, no? So malaking pera pa yung dadaloy in BTC, as well as, di ba, nagkaroon ng Bitcoin halving. Something to consider din na during after Bitcoin halving events, talaga nagko-consolidate muna. 2016 Bitcoin halving, nag-pullback ata or consolidate. Except 2011 Bitcoin halving, 2012 Bitcoin halving. Tanda ko nag-create ng momentum yung market in that Bitcoin halving event. On 2020, the third halving, nag-consolidate din. Then afterwards created a strong parabolic rally 2020. So you can backtest, no? Something to take consider lang based on the current market structure of BTC. So in our Q2 debrief and forward guidance video, no? We looked at BNB, no? Parang nakita na natin yung setup natin at this level, and super tight na consolidation, looks like a VCP, an ascending triangle, and right now breaking out and creating or printing new all-time highs in BNB natin. Although right now pa lang siya nag-print ng all-time highs, no? Nung nag-break above 700. So this is a consolidation near all-time high, near resistance. So that's a good sign that you have defensive buyers na willing to buy at high prices, no? Even pushing prices higher right now, no? So parang nag-ipon lang ng lakas yung mga institutions mo, yung mga whales mo, and then right now they're pushing prices higher with significant volume naman relative to the volume moving average. So what we want to see is a continuation up move toward 800 and possible reconsolidation at 800. So that's our daily summary. That's our daily prep. So I'm gonna wrap up the video. So if you like this video, please like this video. If hindi ka pa nakasubscribe, please subscribe. And sa internal team natin and the community is to provide value to helping you be aware on what's happening with the markets. So, yeah, that ends my video. Thank you. God bless and goodbye.